Anyways, it's your girl, Miss Sophia, the Diva. Be sure to thumbs up this video. I know I've been away for a while, but I'm kind of on a little sabbatical here, going through a couple of things. So, hey, but with all this going on, especially today, with the things that have happened, I just felt prompted to like come on here and talk about all the random things that have been going on in the world today. Let's see. First of all, I want to send my condolences, ask you guys to pray. Law Magnet High School out of Dallas, Texas. That's where I graduated from, class of 1995. However, in the class of 1994, we were a very close-knit school because it was a small, we were just a small school. So just pray for the family of Rodney Bradley. We lost Rodney on Monday, I guess Sunday night, Monday. It was a shock to us because Rodney had been taking steps towards improving his health. And I guess in that process, you know, God saw fit to go ahead and take him. He was a reverend. He was a friend. He was funny. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the funeral, which is very disappointing and disconcerting to me. But, you know, Rodney knows that I will be there in spirit. To my friends who we hold Rodney very, very dear. I'm praying for you guys, praying for your strength. And hopefully I will see you guys soon. Just so we can all get together because, you know, you just never know what could happen. But real quick, I also want to talk a little bit about my day and what I've been dealing with the past 2 days. So there are certain medications that I have to take. CVS, y'all suck. Y'all suck as a pharmacy. I don't know how the hell y'all still in business. I don't know why the hell I still continue to go there. Y'all pray for me and my strength. But I guess because y'all give good coupons from time to time, that's why I go there. And I figure like this, if I'm ever in... Pumpkin, what are you doing? And if I'm ever in a desperate situation, I mean, them long ass receipts, you can always become Wilderness Woman and use those, if you know what I mean. But anyway, y'all, I have been to 6 pharmacies, 4 for a particular controlled substance that I'm on. I'm not going to go in detail about that. They ain't none of y'all damn business. Those of y'all who know me know what the hell I'm on. But no one had it. 4 CVS's, 2 Walgreens. That's what ended up happening to me. The Walgreens that I went to, the first one said, we don't have it. Second one I went to, I was like, oh, Jesus, please let them have this. 6 times the charm when you're dealing with CVS. So from now on, if you can't find something at CVS, I suggest most of y'all pooch on down to the Rite Aid or the Walgreens. Because it's ridiculous. It don't make no damn sense. In the first Walgreens I went to yesterday, old girl sat up there and tried to act like she didn't understand what the hell I was saying. No, Pumpkin didn't get in trouble, honey. She just around here sniffing all up in a corner. I'm like, what is she doing? Knocking over stuff. But the girl, first of all, I didn't like how she was kind of trying to be condescending to me anyways. So she said, are you dropping off? And I said, yes. I said, but I don't want to just drop off. I said, I would like to wait for my prescription to be filled. What? I said, yes, I'm dropping off, but I am waiting for my prescription to be filled. And I was like, this cannot be real. So then let me tell you what she told me. This is the CVS for those of y'all who live in LAX. It's like right down the street from the mall. I mean, not from the mall, from LAX. It's the one attached to the Rouse on Sepulveda. This heifer told me, and by the way, we won't have your medication until the middle of the week because our manager is on vacation. Like y'all ain't got nobody, like your district manager can't sign off on this. Y'all ain't got no assistant manager with authority to order medication. I mean, that's just pure laziness and trifleness. And I'm like, obviously, y'all need to get it together and order more supplies. Or maybe everybody in the Westchester, Inglewood area got issues. I don't know. But either way, y'all need to make sure y'all got that stuff. And CVS, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. That makes no sense to have someone go to 4 different locations and be told the same bull damn near that they don't have their medication. That's ridiculous and that's unacceptable. So I did tweet to them. I have inboxed them. I'm waiting on a response from the inbox. And because they did respond to me and asked me to direct message them on Twitter. In addition, LA drivers, I'm going to need for you all to get together. Your driving is disturbing me, okay? Y'all, we have a green light. This heifer in a goddamn minivan sped out from the other side. Who has a red light? She did not stop. She did not hit the brakes. She did not stop. Damn near, what is it when they, damn near T-bone. She could have T-boned me if I had not been paying attention. And I was like, and then she just kept driving like it was nothing. I was like, do you not see that the light is green? Obviously, if your light is red, you're not supposed to be turning. You're supposed to pause, look to see what's coming, and then turn. Where do people get their driver's license from here in California? I've been trying to figure that out for a long time. Then on top of that, another thing I noticed about drivers, because we have a lot of street parking here in California, people will pull all the way out till you can take out their front end. I'm like, you need to pull back, look up and over the cars to see what's coming, because you pulling out could cost you your life or the front end of your car, which thus makes your premiums go up. So anyways, California drivers, y'all be safe out there. Stay alert, stay alive, as Uncle Sam taught me, because that's what I do. I'm driving for me, myself, and the other people, because some of y'all just don't pay attention. Let's get to it. First of all, before I talk about Steve Harvey, I just in general want to commend the State Attorney General of Michigan for charging officials for what has happened in Flint. Many people have often questioned, I've seen it on social media, whether any of us are paying attention and know that Flint still does not have clean water. I know this. What was the name of the series produced by Norman Lear? It came out on one of the cable movie networks, but I knew that it is going to take years and years, time and money to rebuild the infrastructure, the water infrastructure for those people to ever have clean water. Now, we do know that back in December, I believe it was, Congress dedicated $15 million towards this. I believe it was $15 million. Towards them being able to start the rebuilding, restructuring, because all the pipes are corroded. Everything has to be taken out and dismantled. It's just sad that people wanted to save a few dollars and sacrifice lives the way that they did, especially children. Children come here so innocent, and no one should have to suffer that. So, officials charged with involuntary manslaughter. Michigan Attorney General, this is from HuffPost, Michigan Attorney General Bill Cosby charged 5 officials with involuntary manslaughter on Wednesday over their handling of the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. The officials presided over a failure to maintain the safety of the city's water supply, resulting in widespread lead poisoning among Flint children and 12 deaths connected to an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease, or is it Legionnaires? Yeah, Legionnaire's disease. People in Flint have died as a result of the decisions made by those responsible to protect the health and safety of families, Schwait said during a press conference. The defendants are all high-ranking members of the city and state government. They are Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Director Nick Lyon. Remember all these names, people. Former Flint Emergency Manager Darnell Early. Former Flint Water Manager Howard Croft. Just because you're former don't mean you got off. You made them damn decisions. Now you might have to pay for it. And Leanne Skater Smith and Stephen Bush of the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality. Now, I would be curious to know what's going to happen with this. This is, to me, when these things happen, we're like, okay, they're being charged. But what's really going to happen? Is this going to be a slap on the wrist, or is there going to be serious jail time? Because let us not forget, even though these are 2 different jurisdictions, let's just call a spade a spade. Atlanta teachers were given 20 years for messing with test scores. But these people have actually murdered people and did nothing to help people, okay? They were complicit in costing people their health and welfare up to their very lives. So I hope that they get at least 20-some years in prison, okay? And they need to drink the water too. I'm just saying, that'd be good. That ain't Christian-like, but right now how I feel about it, y'all know how Miss Diva feels about the babies. You don't mess with the babies, okay? That's one thing you don't do. Okay, you done hurt the babies. Now they running around here having all these different health issues. And it's all because you just chose to be derelict and look the other way and act like people didn't forewarn you that there was a problem with the water and that this was not going to work. Okay, so let's continue to pray for Flint. Let's continue to help out wherever we can and reach out a helping hand to these young people and these many, many families, because this is just, it's horrible. And what's even more horrible and what's even more crass, Steve Harvey. You are 60 years old, sir. 60 years old. And I get that you're a comedian, but what you said today was highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. Yes, Cheryl, we want justice for Flint. Because that what happened in Flint shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't have. So let me get to Steve Harvey. So I saw one of my friends had posted about him, like, oh hell, what did he say now? Because y'all know ever since he met Trump, okay, he been a different, I'm telling you, I listen to the Steve Harvey morning show. And anytime Trump comes up, he finds a way to defend this man in the most creative ways. And I said, hell, did you drink the Trump Kool-Aid? Like, what happened? I mean, did Angry Wig look into your eyes and just manipulate you into wanting to support him? He provides a defense, despite the fact that the people on his morning team, you know, like Shirley Strawberry, nephew Tommy, and now we have J. Anthony Brown on there, and Carla, all of them, you know, Junior, all of them are not here for 45. But it is very, very obvious that Steve Harvey has drunk the Kool-Aid and he has now gone around the bend. But today, it was about sports and it went too far. It was inappropriate. It was crass. It was very disrespectful to those in Flint, Michigan. You can frame it however you want to and say I was telling him, but you need to watch your language, okay? You said that's why y'all ain't had clean water. The man called in, they were talking about the championship, and dude was like, I'm just not here for the Cavs. Well, if you listen to Steve Harvey, you know, he talks a lot about his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. He's just a ride or die for his city. No problem. I ride for Dallas too. Okay. But here we go. So the caller said he wasn't here for the Cavaliers. And then that's when Steve Harvey was like, you from Flint? And he said, that's why y'all ain't even got clean water. When was the last time you touched water and it didn't have lead in it? Okay. Oh, but there's more. There's more. And then the team kept trying to reel him back in. They're like, okay, Steve, that's enough. You need to stop. I wasn't talking about the city of Flint. I was talking about him. He gonna call in and say Cleveland don't deserve Jack, and he over there bathing in all that silver water. Okay. Okay. The caller stayed on the line, but before he hung up, Harvey said one more thing. Enjoy your nice brown glass of water, to the shock of his co-host. Thoughts? Anybody want to say something while we here? Let's talk about Steve Harvey. I used to like Steve Harvey, even when people were telling me that Steve Harvey was a pompous ass. Well, you know, me being a stand-up comedian, well, hell, I'm still a stand-up comedian. Eventually I'm going to get back on stage. But I heard some of my fellow comedians that have had the opportunity to work with him, how difficult he can be and what an asshole he can be. But never in a million years would I expect him to say something so insensitive about the people of Flint. That's why you don't have. That sounds like something that an 8-year-old would say. It was very immature. It was just crass, and it's shocking, and it's very disappointing. He is really drunk on power. He is feeling himself. The man, he keeps getting gigs. Yeah, favor ain't fair, but hell, at this point, I'm beginning to wonder, did you love God, but did you sell your soul to the devil? I mean, I'm curious to see how his radio show is going to go. Maybe they can still save it and just make it the J. Anthony Brown morning show, and everybody can keep their jobs and just oust Steve Harvey. But that right there, if I was advertisers, I would start pulling. I would start pulling. If you're going to allow somebody to get on the radio and say something like that to hundreds of thousands, probably millions of listeners, it's got to go. It's one thing for him to be supporting someone that we think is disgusting. That's his right. If he wants to support 45, that's his prerogative. But to say that's why y'all don't have clean drinking water. You said y'all. You didn't say that's why you don't have clean drinking water. See, you got to learn how to use your words. You got to be very careful how you use your words, Mr. Harvey. I don't know. At this point, like my friend said, we all wondering about maybe there is some strong validity to what Mary Harvey has said about you all these years. But you've been able to pull the strings and make us think that she's crazy and you possibly are somewhat of a saint. But today I lost all respect for you, and I'm very disappointed that someone in your position would say something like that. There are children suffering. There are people that have died from what has happened in Flint. So you should have handled that a little. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't even say nothing. You should have just talked the smack that most do. So I was like, say, man, that's why the Cavaliers, oh yeah, well then, what about them Detroit Lions or the Detroit Pistons? When was the last time they won a championship? Something. But you didn't have to say anything about Flint Water Crisis. It's very disconcerting. It's very disturbing. Cheryl says that Steve Harvey is a sellout. I mean, I typically don't use this word in my vocab, but the Coon of the Day award goes to Steve Harvey. So that's all I got to say about that. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on Steve Harvey's highly inappropriate exchange with the caller. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe he just don't give two flying flips. I don't know, but he feeling himself just a little bit too much these days. And like I said, he's so empowered and so drunk. But to whom much is given, much is required. Not only that, we've discussed before that sometimes God will allow people to be put into a position and God will just say, let me watch and see what he's going to do with it. Yeah, God has blessed you with these positions, as you say, but I bet right now God is like, well, let's see what he does when I snatch it all away. Now, I'd be curious to see if Marjorie's going to stick around if the shit start falling apart. Anywho, gun control. Republicans, do you now believe that gun control is very much a subject matter we should talk about? It is sad and unfortunate what happened in D.C. on yesterday as well as San Francisco. San Francisco really didn't get a lot of press, but there was a shooting, people, at a UPS facility. I believe 5 people lost their lives. But in D.C., there was a Republican baseball practice going on early morning. And the man rolled up and said, what are you, Democrats or Republicans? And when he found out they were Republicans, he opened fire on them. The majority whip, House whip, what's his name? Steve Scalise, and 4 others were shot at baseball practice. Last I heard, Steve Scalise was in critical condition. They said that the gunman opened fire on a Republican Congressional baseball, this is coming from USA Today, Congressional baseball team practicing on the suburban Virginia field Wednesday, critically wounding Louisiana Rep. Steve Scalise and shooting 4 other people as horrified legislators and staffers scrambled for cover amid a barrage of bullets. Capitol Police, who provided security for the practice, engaged the shooter, identified by authorities as a James Hodgkinson, from age 66, from Belleville, Illinois. POTUS 45 later said the suspect was killed in the ensuing shootout. Congressional aide Zachary Barth, Tyson Foods lobbyist Matt Mika, and Capitol Police Special Agents Crystal Griner and David Bailey also were wounded in the rampage. What I found interesting, and I kind of scoffed and laughed a little, is that they said this is a safe neighborhood. We don't understand why people got shot. I don't know if y'all know this, but ain't no place really safe. You could be at Starbucks in Beverly Hills and get gunned down. I'm just saying. Guns, bullets have no real names on them, although people can point name and choose to identify you for that bullet. But once them bullets get to fly, you don't know who gonna get hit. But now my question is, y'all think we need gun control now, Republicans? You see what I'm talking about? Obviously, the man was out of his rabbit-ass mind and chose to shoot up some Congress people. And another thing that I didn't appreciate and like is that I was on Twitter. Now, this woman ended up blocking me, but I engaged with this one because some days I will do it just for the hell of it, because I'm like, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of ignorant ass folk. I really am. Let's just call a spade a spade. So what happened is this woman, and y'all can go feel free to tweet to her, because I'm sure she'll be happy to block you too, but the hell block me. She said, what's her name? Tana Maga. It's at Tana Jam, TANAJAM. That's Tango Alpha November Alpha Juliet Alpha Mike. Okay, y'all go find her on Twitter. She blocked me though. She was not happy with me confronting her on her BS. She basically went in and said that certain people. Okay, so she tweeted to Maxine Waters, Senator Warren, Kamala Harris, Senator Schumer, somebody named Morning Mika, Joe NBC, Chuck Todd, and Ron Wyden, and she said that Alexandria, as a result of the hate that you guys, as a result of the hate you spew, that's why the shooting happened, because all these people spew hate. No, these people are spewing truth and calling people out and calling a spade a spade. It's not about hate. Whoever is spewing hate is, you need to look to that part. And so I wrote back, me being petty boots as I am. I asked her, I said, who pushes for the right to bear arms? Gun control, or the lack thereof, is an issue that is very near and dear to conservatives. Okay? And I said, and then she said, oh, because when she responded to me, she said, typical lefty response. And I was being funny. The comedian came out then, and I said, and I was unaware left-handers spew more hate than right. Fascinating theory on your part. I said, but seriously, we can easily see that the GOP is not about that God by their actions against their own fellow brothers and sisters. I further went on to point out the fact that, because if you're such God-fearing people, why would you not want everyone to have health care? Why would you not want everyone to be fed and have shelter and all this stuff? Am I my brother's keeper? By that time, she'd probably block me. But either way, it's out there on Twitter. If y'all know my Twitter handle, is at Afia the Diva. And, you know, I'm just out there. Usually I don't engage with people like that because I know it's going to turn crazy. But this time I just felt compelled. Like, how are you going to say this is those people's fault for what's going on? If anything, the reason why we even have this type of level of violence is because of people like Angry Wig going out here and doing the things that he does. Okay, I'm just saying. Thoughts? But anyways, like I said, we should all be praying for these people and not trying to say who's at fault. But I just felt like with her, I'm just like, here we go. On some bull right now. Here we go. Meanwhile, that was the East Coast. Meanwhile, on the West Coast in San Francisco at a UPS facility, according to the LA Times, 4 were killed in a shooting at a San Francisco facility, including the gunman. A gunman shot and killed 3 people at a UPS facility in San Francisco on Wednesday morning before fatally shooting himself in front of police officers. 2 others were wounded by gunfire, according to the San Francisco police. 2 others were wounded, and 5 had injuries that were probably sustained during the rush to evacuate. The lone gunman was identified as Jimmy Lamb, 38. He shot himself in the head, and 2 guns were recovered from the scene. So he probably intended to do way more than he did. Authorities said that the incident was not believed to be connected to terrorism. They're still conducting an active investigation. They said that the UPS spokesman said that Lamb was a driver who was wearing his uniform when he opened fire inside the 4-story shipping facility. At the time, workers were gathering for their morning meeting before departing to deliver parcels. Back in March, this man had filed a grievance complaining about excessive overtime to the Teamsters union that he was on. And it said that the people that he did shoot, they seemed to be targets. And here we go. You know the usual narrative. I didn't know he was like that. He was so nice. Child, you'd be surprised what goes on inside people's head. That's why you got to be nice to everybody. I think a lot of companies fail to realize that sometimes you can bully and push people and do people wrong to the point to where they just snap. And I'm just like, you know, that's why damn shame you think about going to your workplace with a damn bulletproof vest on all the time. Because you never know what crazy might unleash. Sharon said those damn Republicans and NR didn't give a crap of Sandy Hook. I don't care about one of them getting shot. Sharon, we must have a forgiving heart. When they go low, we go high, okay? One of my friends even said, what the hell were they out there doing playing baseball instead of working on our behalf? That don't sound right. But you know what? It's neither here nor there. I'm just going to pray because that's somebody's daddy or mama's. What? It's neither here nor there. It's unfortunate, but for we know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Perhaps this was a wake-up call. That's all I'm going to say, because for so long they've been in denial that gun control is not a problem. And another thing that they need to also consider is the fact that mental illness is real too. So we don't know the mental health of this man. For all we know, he could be schizophrenic, paranoid schizophrenic. So I hope that gun control and mental illness becomes a priority now that this has happened. Bingo, wasting taxpayer money, the thing they always cry about. Yep. So let's see what else is going on in the world, because what else did I have on my list? Oh, let's talk about some less heavy stuff, but it is concerning. There is an R&B singer named Tinashe, or however her name is. First of all, I didn't know the child was biracial. I just thought she was a black chick. I don't know much about her. I just know that I think she has a song with Chris Brown. Or maybe that's 7th Streeter. I don't know, but there's a song where Don't Kill the Fun. The Root did a very extensive write-up about this young woman and her cries for trying to say that she's being discriminated against by the black community. And I'm like, how is that possible? She also was whining in other interviews in the past about how they act like there can only be one black person at the top, and she started, or a few, like Rihanna and Beyonce and Sierra. Now, first of all, I'm just going to say that out of those three, there's only one that can sing, and that would be Beyonce. And if anybody say otherwise, I don't know what y'all listening to. Y'all know Rihanna ass can't sing. You know, she got a good studio voice. But I've been telling her she need to go down there to the voice coach. There's a wonderful woman named Dot Todman. You might want to go holler at her. She can help you with your struggle vocals. Sierra, I just don't foresee any help, you know. Maybe my aunt, when she was alive, could have helped you. She was a great vocal coach. I wish I had been coached under her. But either way, I was like, you can't even compare that. Okay, I'm just saying. But either way, let me go to this article real quick. Oh, colorism. So I said, girl, you know we already got rid of Chrisette Michelle. Do you want to become another missing person where they have to find you? So she was speaking to The Guardian, according to Essence, about race and working entertainment industry, but there's one moment in the interview that folks weren't happy about. The singer expressed her disappointment with the way that the industry handles female entertainers, saying it felt like they almost had to sacrifice someone because there wasn't enough room, which isn't true. Sierra's an amazing artist. Beyonce's an amazing artist. Rihanna's an amazing artist, and they're all very different. She went on to add that being biracial, this is what got everybody pissed off. She went on to add that being biracial has often been difficult as well because there's colorism involved in the black community. Really? Which is very apparent. It's about trying to find a balance where I'm a mixed woman and sometimes I feel like I don't fully fit into the black community. They don't fully accept me, even though I see myself as a black woman. That disconnect is confusing sometimes. I'll tell you something. I'm going to name off a couple of people that are biracial, that are big time famous. Lenny Kravitz. His daughter Zoe is not biracial, but she's a product of parents that are black and Jewish. Lisa Bonet. Sade. Who else? There's so many. There's so many people that are biracial or appear to be biracial. But when we saw you, we just thought you were black. I didn't know. I didn't think to ask. But girl, you need to stop. And you need to stop whining and complaining. And then the Root let go and let have, basically saying that it's not the black community, it's you. Basically, my dear, I will tell you this much. Step your game up. Get some confidence about yourself. Believe in yourself. Girl, go independent if you have to, you know. The Root said, when your name is Tinashe, black folks don't need Scooby-Doo or a member of the Mystery Machine to guess that race. Yet the singer-songwriter is arguing that a lot of us don't completely embrace her as a mixed-race woman. We just had a mixed-race president. His name is Barack Hussein Obama, and we loved him. We still love you, President Obama. Where you at? Please come back. We miss you so much. Hell, at this point, I'll take George W. Bush. Oh, Jesus, Lord. Oh, Jesus. Okay, getting back to the topic at hand. So, you trying to say that because of your mixed race, that's why you have not risen to the level of epicness of that of Beyonce or Sierra or Rihanna? No. Sounds like you got a bad marketing team. Sounds like you need to get a better marketing team and you need to push for what you want. Maybe you need to change your name and because as an artist you can do that. You can operate under more than one name. Like you could be Tinashe, you know, for the record label, unless they have a clause in your contract that says you can't work on other projects. But see, with me being the manipulative person I can be when it comes to stuff like this, I'd be like, but this is not Tinashe. This is Giselle. Okay, Giselle over here singing the song. I don't know about Tinashe. Okay, I'm just saying. But girl, either way, work that out. It's not you. Let me tell you something. I wasn't fully accepted in the black community growing up as a teenager because of simply the way that I talk. And I'm not biracial by any means. As far as I know, I'm black. My mama black, my daddy black, my grandma, grandpa, them, they black, everybody black. Of course, we all know this is America, so all of us got DNA from all types of different places. But I'm just saying, girl, stop. That's what I'm saying. Just stop. You sound crazy, and you need somebody to tell you how to talk to people before you get up there and start sounding stupid. Okay? We would embrace. I enjoyed the little songs I done heard you on. So, I mean, girl, rise to the occasion. Fight for yours. Get over it. Meanwhile, our favorite housewife. Well, she's not my favorite housewife, but a lot of people like Kenya Moore. I personally don't. I think she's a horrible individual. But that's just me. I also think that her and Omarosa possibly could be related because these two women have found love, honey. Kenya Moore ran out here down to the beach in St. Lucia or whatever, and she done got married, honey, to the love of her life. Now, we don't know what this man look like. We don't know who he is. They taping and filming right now, so Miss Kenya is now an authentic, real housewife. She finally got what everybody else on the show has had, a husband. Okay, now, I want to know and see some receipts about how much she paid for this mail order husband of hers that she got. And how long are the terms that they supposed to stay married. I'm just saying, is that wrong? Is that wrong? But my soror said there's somebody out there for everybody. I was like, yeah, the price is right. You know, you can pay people to be with you. You know. Then somebody on Twitter said, hell, was it Matt? I was like, I hope not. Is he crazy? Did y'all see how he went windmill on Poe Peter? But anyway, they say that her husband's choosing to stay out the spotlight. But I'm like, that's only because it's going to build suspense for when he actually shows up on season 10 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're not stupid, Andy. We already know what's going on, okay? But I want to say, if this is truly, on a serious note, if this is truly authentic, congratulations to Kenya, because Kenya is a broken, hurt person who has been looking desperately for love. And I hope that this is the love that she wants and needs, and I hope that she is not seeking her happiness in this man, because happiness, as we see time and time again, is indeed an inside job. So if you're not happy and you don't know how to love yourself, someone coming into your life and trying to be with you, that's not going to help you either. But I hope now that maybe this will make Kenya Moore a little less catty. Okay. So kudos for her. I'm eager to see what season 10 is going to be like because Nene Leakes is returning. My friend inboxed me some stuff this weekend that was very, very serious. And I just wanted to touch on it. There was a story, Miss Diva loves the kids. Everybody know that? And I was pissed and I was enraged. I'm like, where was Child Protective Services? But we know why. No one wants to dedicate money. It looks like my light is trying to go out. No one wants to dedicate money to things that matter, like saving lives. That's why social workers are underpaid and overworked. Their caseloads are ridiculous, as are most public servants. Why, for the life of me, do you think that people who work for the government have to be so grossly underpaid? But there is a young lady named Giselle Ford that died at age 8 in Chicago, and her grandmother was recently convicted for her death. They said that Giselle Ford was found in the family's trash-strewn apartment with maggots attached to her skull, with scrapes, bruises, and lacerations all over her body. So her grandmother will serve the rest of her life behind bars for murdering her 8-year-old granddaughter and subjecting her to heinous abuse. Cook County Judge Evelyn Clay sentenced 55-year-old Helen Ford to life in prison for torturing and strangling the girl to death. And this happened back in 2013. She was just convicted in 2017. Before she died, Giselle Ford had been tied to a post, beaten head to toe with a belt, forced to stand or squat for hours, and was denied food and water. In one instance, she was punished for trying to sneak a drink of water from a toilet. She was 70 pounds at the time of her death. She was, as the prosecutors put it, a punching bag. However, this 8-year-old wrote her story. Dead Man Tell No Tales. She kept a diary of the abuse, and excerpts of that was presented to jurors. In one journal entry, the straight-A student said she looked forward to school starting so she could find respite in class. She wrote about being forced to squat for half a day and then having to stay in for long periods of time at home. I know if I be good and do everything I'm told, I won't have to do punishments. Prosecutors played a cell phone video in court showing Helen Ford and her son, Andre Ford, the girl's father, scolding the girl. She appeared disoriented and topless with cloth stuffed in her mouth. The girl's kidneys were failing because she had been deprived of water and food for so long. Ford testified Wednesday that she was a loving grandmother, and the girl was injured because she was throwing herself around. Defense attorneys argued that the grandmother had good intentions but was overwhelmed with caring for her grandchildren and Andre Ford, who was chronically ill at the time. Now, I was informed by one of my followers on my page that the father, Andre, did succumb to this illness and that he did die, but he was also charged too. He was arrested at the time that they found this young girl. So for all of you dumbasses out there that like to beat up on people who are defenseless and can't do anything for themselves, the children, the handicapped, all of that, there's a special place in hell for you. And to this grandmother, I don't think you even deserve the title of being called grandmother. You're just a woman who chose to take out all of your hate and rage on your precious granddaughter. And when I look at that picture, she looked just like you. How could you do that? How could you? And they said about a month prior to the girl's death, the child welfare investigator visited the grandmother's apartment, which was infested with cockroaches, to check out allegations that the girl had been raped by her mother's boyfriend. 8 years old. And what a traumatic life. That's sad. But it gets even more interesting. Now, this one is old, I believe, but I had never seen it, so I'm going to share it with you guys right now. These heifers, 2 women, I'm assuming that they must have been probably in a lesbian relationship or something, but these 2 heifers here fell out on the damn floor when they were sentenced for murdering their child. I think the child was 3 years old. I can't find the story right now because it was on. I had it pulled up, but so 2 females got life because they whipped their child with a belt and plastic hangers until she died, and they doused her with bleach. She was 3 years old. When they told them that they were going to get life in prison, they were like, "Oh Jesus, wow!" and fell out on the floor. Then meanwhile, one of them, their mother was in the back in the audience screaming, "Get up, my baby! Oh, Jesus, that's my baby!" Oh, and I was like, no, you 2 heifers ain't laying out here like the pastor done just come through with the damn blessed oil and knocked you out on the floor. Now is not the time to be acting like that. And the sheriffs were nice, because see, my petty behind probably would have been on administrative leave, because I would have just tased them, lit them up like the 4th of July, scum of the earth, beat that child literally to death. And just, oh, oh, oh. I'm like, ain't nothing gonna save you now, heifer. Get up. Get up, you scum of the earth. You got a whole lifetime maybe to think about it, because your life could end at any time. I don't know if they're going to put you in solitary confinement, but to both cases, y'all going to get beat up by Big Shirley or somebody down there, because orange ain't always the new black. Okay. So Godspeed to you. I hope you learned something. But like I said, there's a special place in hell for idiots like you. Although I want to give a special shout out to my soror. I was hoping one day to work for her because I was trying to get my license to practice here in California. But it's still possible. I can still very much go work for Kamala Harris. Shout out to her. She fighting a good fight up there in D.C. I am proud of her. Okay, and she is a soror. She is a lady of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay, but either way, I admire her. And I'm just like, the woman is a former prosecutor. Of course she's going to ask questions and push buttons. But of course, especially when you're a woman and especially when you're black, they're going to always say that we're being aggressive. I got told that when I was in law school, okay, that I was aggressive. My trial practice professor told me that, and I just looked at him like, passion always mistook for aggression. Okay, whatever. But either way, shout out to her for persisting, and she is definitely the MVP of the Senate right now. Because right now, Elizabeth Warren, since she said what she said recently in the past couple of months about Obama getting his pay on, I'm just giving her the side. I'm like, why are you hating from the sideline? When you get out of Congress, I'm sure people will pay you to come speak. Hell, cut me a $400,000 check. How long you want me to stand up there and talk about what? Okay? Obama got to get it how he lived. He wasn't born with no silver spoon in his life, honey. He just made his money since he came into the spotlight. Okay, they just paid off their student loans going into the damn White House. Come on now. Girl, bye. But anyways, I just want to give that special shout out because she is, in fact, Kamala Harris, indeed persist. And I commend her. I don't know where my husband is, though. Where is Cory Booker? Somebody said something. Cory had been out doing something. I was trying to run on a joint ticket with you, Cory Booker, because I think I'll be old enough to run for president. Would I have to be 42? So either way, I wanted to give a shout out to that. I also want to give a special shout out to Tarrant County, the Fort Worth Police, for providing a, first of all, me being from Texas, I'm from Dallas. Dallas gets hot as hell in the summer. Okay, it is hot. And that is why they encourage us so much to go check in on our older people. Well, Mr. Julius Hadley is 95 years old, and he had been sitting out on his porch because his house was entirely too hot because his AC had stopped working. Well, he ended up having to call 911 because the heat just got to be too much, even sitting outside on his porch. And do you know that the lovely people of the Fort Worth Police Department bought him a new AC and installed it for him? So shout out to them. There are good people in this world. There are good cops in this world. We know that, but it's just the few that are corrupt that make it look bad. Also, shout out to Malcolm Jamal Warner. I did not open the email. I don't know why I didn't do that, and I don't know why I don't have it pulled up, but I just thought about it. I just saw a headline where he has welcomed his first child, so congratulations to him. Finally, there is Bill Cosby, Malcolm Jamal Warner's TV dad. Now, y'all know Mr. Cosby's felony trial, or his sexual assault trial, started. Well, baby, the jury is deadlocked. Okay, they will resume deliberations on tomorrow. I don't know what the outcome going to be. I don't know if a mistrial is going to be declared, or they're just going to all finally decide to vote not guilty, and everybody can just pooch on and move on with their lives. The jury is made up of 4 white women, 6 white men, 1 black woman, and 1 black man. They were bused to Norristown, Pennsylvania from Allegheny County near Pittsburgh and have been sequestered in a hotel for the trial. The prosecutors say that Cosby, this is from CNN, the prosecutors say Cosby drugged and sexually assaulted Andrea Constad, the former director of operations for Temple University's women's basketball, at his home near Philadelphia in January of 2004. Cosby is 79 and pleaded not guilty to said charges. The 3 charges accused Cosby of assaulting Constad without her consent, assaulting her when she was unconscious, and assaulting her using drugs to substantially impair her ability to consent. If found guilty, he could face up to 10 years in prison for each charge. I was like, is this going to be concurrently or consecutive? Because either way, I don't foresee him making it another 10 years. He could, but I don't know. So far, the jurors have asked 6 questions during their deliberations, largely to rehear testimony. 2 questions asked to review parts of Cosby's account to authorities, and 2 asked to rehear Constad's account and testimony. Jurors also asked the court to define the phrase "without her knowledge" in one of the charges, and asked to rehear testimony from the Cheltenham, I think that's how to pronounce it, Cheltenham police detective who interviewed Cosby. So I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this Cosby trial. Also, well, sexual assault is serious, but I'm sorry. One of his former victims from way back in the day, because she's in her 70s now. She said, I'm sorry. Felicia. She said she can't wait to be in the courtroom with him because she is hoping that she will get to make eye contact with him so she can look him in his eye. I was like, that glaucoma he got says otherwise. Man blind is bad. He been declared legally blind, so I don't think you won't get your wish. But I mean, good luck with that, okay? He might be looking at you, but he might just be looking at whatever it is he think he see. I mean, I don't know. They just say he's been declared. I don't think he's like completely like cannot see, but I think that his vision is probably very blurred or whatever. But girl, good luck with that. I don't know. Holler at us. Let us know if you got your wish. Did Bill Cosby lock eyes with you? I don't know. I still don't know how to feel about this whole Bill Cosby thing. Like 50 some people have come forward and said that that's what happened. But then at the same time, I'm like, okay. Some of y'all I believe, other y'all get the side eye like, okay. And finally, what else? I think there was something else. I didn't pull up the article about this. I'll just do this off the top of my head. What the hell is wrong with Tamar and Toya and Tiny? The 3 T's. Tamar, Toya. Sorry, I've been using my hands so I can't comment. Oh, Diva, it's okay. That's the other Diva. That's Samantha. That's the other Diva. We could really do some stuff, too, because she's 6'1". I'm 5'11". I go by Miss Sophia the Diva. She's the Diva. You know, I'm just saying. But I really want to say that it is very disappointing that you would get on social media and say some stuff, Tamar, about the fact that social media really isn't the place, but then proceed to post about how you love Tiny and how Toya has come in between y'all and how she's paperback Toya. Well, at least she publishing something. What have you published other than all these smart at the lip stuff? But Toya got you together, though. I was glad that she said all the things I've been saying. You sit up there, you talk about your mama, your sister, your daddy, everybody. Meanwhile, Tamar is perfect. Everybody. And that's the other thing. I'm like, you love Jesus, but you always be bringing up BS all the time. I'm like, what is really wrong with you? So, girl, just shut up and be with your husband and raise your son. That's what you do. Because, I mean, it's not cute for a grown woman to be as petty as you are. Paperback Toya. You should have had Candy come up there. Toya should have had Candy say, you better piggyback your ass on. Oh, I'm sorry. That's still funny. When Candy said, well, piggyback your ass off. Okay. Because, you know, Toya and Candy hang tough. But either way, I think that's all I've got. It's been a minute since I've done a Diva Disturbed. I'm just going through some stuff right now. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Sometimes the incompetence, the level of incompetence that we have to deal with as customers and clients is ridiculous. Let me tell you something. If you don't like your job, take a knee. Take a break. Just take a break. Walk away. Go do something else. But please don't mess with me and my money. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. I just don't get it. Either way, y'all just continue to pray for me. Again, Pray for my friends, family, my friend that passed away recently this week, Rodney, Pastor Brad. You're gonna be missed for real. I'm really gonna miss you. I will never forget our time in Mr. McWhorter's class. That shit today is still funny. Not to mention our most recent online chat that we all had about the male rompers. That was funny. And I did not get to share with you the picture because I have that same romper that Cam Newton had on. And I'm just saying it was, yeah. But I think that's all I got. But anyways, I have been Miss Sophia the Diva. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining the conversation. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be sure to thumbs it up. Comment. Let's have a conversation about these topics we covered, especially Steve Harvey and the Flint Water Crisis. To me, that was just totally crass, totally unnecessary. And you all have a good night, because I'm definitely going to have one. By the way, I just discovered that I like California spicy rolls from Trader Joe's. If you have not tried that, get into it. Holla!